Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to Market Psychology 101, where we try to find value in the market when there is fear and to be cautious when there's greed. If you like anything that is said in today's video, please consider liking and subscribing. For today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin mining companies, publicly traded stock companies that have to do with mining Bitcoin. And I did a video on this a month ago. We're going to take a strong, close look at the technicals. But when a company like BlackRock that has somewhere around 10 trillion in in assets that it manages, you want to pay attention. So supposedly BlackRock is actively scooping up Bitcoin mining companies. And as we look down here, we're going to go back and forth from looking at this chart. We're going to take a look at the technicals of all these. And when we take a look at the technical analysis, guys, all because something on the chart is a strong technical buy does not mean it is a strong company. Things might look like crap because it is crap, or it might be a stronger opportunity to buy. That's up to you based on what research you do and whether or not this company, any of these companies, should be ones that you want to invest in. So it says that BlackRock, it has 11 million shares of Marathon, Riot, and what else? Cypher, TerraWolf, and CLSK. Okay, CLSK is CleanSpark. Last time I looked, there was another one. I want to say maybe, which one was it? Maybe it was Bit that this is months ago that it had shares of. But we're going to take time to look at all these, just the technicals. Again, in market psychology, we want to be cautious when there is greed. And in the crypto markets, we are trending up in greed. I believe that, like former bull markets before, that we are in another 4 year cycle. We are approaching the fourth halving in April of this next year. And that should we be in another 4 year cycle where if you look at when the halving is compared to the top, so halving July of 2016, the top, it was the end of 2017, so 18 months later. The halving May of 2020, the top, you could say a year later or a year and a half, 12 to 18 months. I believe I considered this the top because many of the altcoins ran up here. And after this point to here, it was very tricky. I stayed out of the market, but the true mega bull run was here. Okay. So with it being April of the halving of 2024, I believe that, again, the next mega bull run will peak sometime between April of 2025 to another 18 months after that. So what would that be? May, June, July, August, September, October. October would be 18 months after of 25. Okay. So I still think there's a lot of time left to go. And as far as fear and greed, we took a look at this. So I do think we're early. And in 2019, as you can see, the greed spiked up to 95. I think we have a little bit higher to go, especially with the ETF approval. Then maybe we get to 85 and then start selling back off, accumulating once again. Real quickly, the stock fear and greed, because miners are stocks, they're not cryptos. You can get these on Robinhood. We were recently in extreme greed earlier this week. So be cautious. I am not buying now, but I am waiting for good opportunities to buy. So let's start off with Marathon and Riot. Those are the two biggest Bitcoin mining stocks that BlackRock owns. Let's take a look at this. Right now, as I'm just looking at the charts here, down in the RSI, the relative strength index, I like when things are oversold, especially when they double or triple tap them. Here we tapped again, so I think either of these areas would have been good times to buy. Right now that things are overbought and we're still going up in the price action, I am curious to see. I would be patient personally. And I'm curious to see if maybe we get back down somewhere around this $8 level. We're going to pull up an indicator of our volume-based support and resistance zone that maybe we get back down to this $8 level. Shows it right there. So me personally, I would be patient on that. We have Riot. Riot, very similar chart yet again. Um, Maybe we get down to this $4 level. I'd expect to see some action here around 10. Again, we're getting close to being overbought again. I like when things are oversold and when there's more fear in the market. If we draw a fib from the low to the high here, the 0.5, that's typically where a lot of action takes place. When it finally broke through the 0.5, okay, we got up here to 20-ish, came back down to the 618, slightly got under it. Maybe my fibs aren't perfect, so I may have not drawn this perfectly, but we got to that 10 range. And again, this lines up with our volume, so it's not too different. So maybe we're going to get back up here. Maybe we go higher. Who knows? But if it got anywhere below this 10 range, I would be excited to buy. Maybe it only gets back down to 7 and just bounces off the 786. That might be macro bullish. So if we did get below that 10 range for Riot, I would look to see if it got down to 7. Okay, but we will see. What were some of our other ones? Clean Spark, CLSK. CLSK, Clean Spark. Another very similar chart. For this one, I would be looking at somewhere in the 6 to 7 range, or even here around 3.5. Again, we are overbought on the RSI, so I would wait. Cypher and Wolf. Cypher. Okay, so more in the middle here. More in the middle. Let's take a look at our fibs. Let's get rid of that. See what story this tells here. Get it as close as we can. So with the fibs, again, a lot of action around this 0.5 to the 618 area. Looks like we're bouncing around, again, off this 236 here. So maybe we can come back down to, the lower 2 levels. I would maybe consider buying. If we did get back down to this 220 level, I'm sure we would get below 50 on the RSI. It doesn't have to be oversold. It might get there again, but maybe not anytime soon. And of course, if we went down below the 618 to the 786, that would be a better opportunity. And if it did that, I would assume that we would be hitting the oversold area. Let's take a look at Wolf, Terra Wolf. All right, another similar chart here. Within the last year, we're closer to the high than we are the low. I don't like stocks or cryptos when we are at or above our yearly highs or close to it. So as time goes on and, maybe around halving time, we will be somewhere around this buck 40 area. Right now, again, within the last year, we are overbought. If we take a look just from the fibs from the most recent bull move, try to get this as exact as we can. A little bit of chop around here around the 0.5, and we moved up. I would expect that so right here is, sorry, I'm jumping around a bit. As we moved up from the RSI, just look straight up above here, as we were overbought again, price action did go higher. So one thing I like to look at is once this comes down and we are overbought, is the price action still going up because that's bullish, or is it going sideways? Because that could possibly signal that a reversal is to come up. So I'm looking for this to chop around up here. And if we just go sideways into January ETF season, then I would assume that maybe we go back down somewhere around this buck 20 area. If we turn on our volume-based support resistance zone, what does that show? It shows that, very, very strong areas down here around $1. This is the $1.20 area right here. So that'd be the first area to buy back in if you're wanting to be very patient. Let's see. Let's take a look at Bit Digital. That's BTBT. Bit Digital. Again, similar move. Look at this RSI line right here, by the way. This RSI line just crawling up there. Let's draw a trend line here. Get it as exact as we can. So there's probably still more movement to go up. This thing does look pretty good and bullish. And so I would expect this one to go up. Again, I like to take a look at long-term investing opportunities. Right now, I wouldn't buy because we are more in the overbought area. Here, this was on the yearly. Let's use a different indicator. If we just look at our buy, sell, this is even showing that we could be more bullish on the daily. The weekly, most recently, we did get a buy signal back here. So again, I could see us going a bit higher if we drew our fibs from that low to the high. No, move down there a little bit, but so a lot of action here around the 618. Maybe we hit it, go above, and then have to redraw our fibs. But if we did come back down, that maybe this 215 to, I'd really look at this $1.40 area to hit back here, and maybe we would, on the macro, create a higher low before shooting off. So I'd look for that as an opportunity to buy. Core Scientific, CORZQ. Okay, this one looks very similar to what we just looked at. It's a newer mining stock. So as you can see, we bounced up here, bounced, and then started going back up. So if we drew our fibs from the low to the high, kind of chopping around here, we spiked, did a strong move off that 786 and are going up. Maybe we're going to blast through this and go even higher. So, yeah, I would be patient, see what this is going to do. I personally wouldn't trade right now. We are, again, overbought. I like when things are oversold. And to take a long macroscopic view here, and just something else to look at. Guys, anytime we're going sideways like this, that can be a strong opportunity to buy and accumulate. Okay, so we were going sideways really strong from February to June. That was a lot of good time to accumulate. Stronghold Digital Mining, that's SDIG. So right here, this chart, man, doesn't this look even better? So we've been chopping around, going sideways. I know it's close to the overbought area. This thing looks like it may want to break out any second. So we formed a strong low here back in December of 22. It's been going from around $4 to $10, $4. Right here we're at $6.50. So I am wondering if it's going to possibly get back down to this $4 range, maybe as it works its way back under the 50, the middle level of the RSI. Right here we just made a newer low. Yeah, we did. And so, man, let's zoom in here. Actually, drew that not too bad. So, maybe we get back down to this 420 area. As you can see, there's a lot of action and bouncing around in here between the 0.5 and the 618. But I don't know. I'd say, this one just macroscopically, if you liked a lot of what this company is about, macro wise, might not be the worst time to buy Stronghold. I would do my research on this one, but and I do think it would get back down below five. Um, but big macro wise, man, it has a lot of upside. But where have we seen charts like this before, where things were, at a super high level? Look at this, around 300, and then it's down to, the single digits. A couple off the top of my head, Fubo stock, that's one where let's take a look at Fubo stock overall. It was, look at this, up at around 11,000, and now we're in the $3 range. Is Fubo ever going to get up there? The other one that comes to mind is GoPro. Just, these stocks that have just fallen off completely. You know, GoPro up around the 80, 90 levels, and now trading around $3. A lot of people are wondering, can either of those ever get back up, or is this just going to be the level, between $3 and $10? I digress. Let's take a look at the last one. Greenidge Generation Holdings. That's GREE. Sorry for getting off track there a little bit. I just saw something similar and wanted to point it out. So recently, we're under 50 on the RSI. This one is, man, what a weird looking chart. Like, this is a Bitcoin mining stock, right? But as you can see, it was around before Bitcoin. So, obviously they're into other things too. I don't know anything about Green Ridge Generation Holdings. Um, so obviously they do more than Bitcoin mining. But man, after the October 22 sell off, that was the dip really of, well, that was 21. When we did get to the dip of October 22, where was that? Sorry, I was way zoomed out. I misread the chart there. But this thing, man, it just fell off hard, and now it looks like it's creating a base. Jesus Christ, how do you draw how do you draw a fib on this one? Um, so, well, let's try. So we're gonna take the low to the most recent high because it's been coming down. So, here we got below the 618, not quite to the 786, bouncing off the 382, and we're in this range between the zero point 0.5 and the 618. So, gosh, I would have to do research on this one, but it does look like it's forming a strong base, and that if we zoom out, maybe macro wise, this is a strong opportunity to buy. I would do my research again on these Bitcoin mining stocks. I think it was these last two. Chart wise, sure, it might look like a strong time to buy. Maybe this is going to ape back up to 2,000, and gosh, 2,000 divided by 5, that would be some sort of gain there. You're talking about a 400x. So if you put in 1,000 right now, are you going to make 400,000 if it gets to, the 2,000 range ever again? That's a big if. But obviously, do your own research because this thing fell off hard for a reason. Is there anything to like about this Bitcoin mining stock? Read all the good about a stock, all the bad, and make your own financial decisions from there. So, yeah, interesting find here. And guys, all because the chart looks like there's that much of a difference doesn't mean that even in the best of markets that it has to get there. But you never know. Maybe we just found a diamond in the rough. Anyways, that's the technical analysis of these different Bitcoin mining companies. I have not done any research into these companies outside of Marathon, Riot, Cypher, and Wolf personally. So do your own research. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything said in today's video is just my opinion and meant for entertainment purposes. And guys, here in market psychology, I have a lot of experience, certifications in the field of psychology that I have used to my advantage to do pretty well in the markets, stocks and cryptos. And so, again, with things that I look for overall, fear and greed index, I like when things are more fear times. Let's take a look at smart money. Smart money in the last year, they've been buying less and less. Dumb money in this current bull run, they're buying more and more. That's retail money. That's us. And so that's why sometimes it helps to be a contrarian to, wait when things are overbought and try to pounce more when things are oversold. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Take care.